All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning. We are live. We are live. Super excited to be here with you. Excited to answer your questions. But mostly, what I want to do is I want to share with you why, if you ever said, like, I don't have time to do something that is truly important to you, you'll never be successful. And I have seen it so many times in my own life where, I said I don't have time to do things that I want to do, and then I would keep delaying and keep procrastinating, and those things would never happen. Like, I was delaying it, and I only would get started with those things when it was really, like, painful. And a lot of people, I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people, and people say, oh, I don't have time to start a business. Oh, I don't have time to do X, Y, and Z. Oh, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to do, like, some things that are truly, like, important to me. And I'm like, if you are thinking this way, then you'll never be successful. Because every day we have 24 hours. We have to sleep, we have to eat, we have to do certain things, but there is always few hours a day that are available that we can use at our own disposal. And the problem with most people is that they're wasting those few extra hours to watch Netflix, to scroll their phone, to be on social media all the time. And that's why say, oh, I don't have time. But shit, you have time to do, like, to watch Netflix, you have time to watch movies, you have time to sit on TikTok for 2 hours a day, but then you don't have time to start your own business. Something that can set your life financially, can give you more freedom, and something that just has so much potential impact, much higher than you would ever have with other things that you do. And, that's why I wanted to do this live and share with you a few mindset shifts, but also a few tactical things that you can start implementing today to start having time, like finding time. Like, literally all you have to do is, like, changing your mindset from, I have this pen here, it's a fancy pen, changing your mindset from I don't have time, like I don't have time, to finding the time. Because you already have the time, you just have to find it, and you have to take that time away from things that are not moving your life forward. I'll give you my own example. For a long time, I'm like, oh, I don't have time to go to the gym. Oh, yeah, I'm building my business, so I don't have time to go to the gym. Right? So that's myself. And so as a result of that, I was overweight. I was fat, right? So that's me. I was fat. That is a result of that decision, because I said to myself that I don't have time. And then I made a decision to find the time. Okay, so if I don't have the time to go to the gym, it's not like every single business owner, or every entrepreneur that builds a business doesn't have time to go to the gym. People have time. There are people that are fit, right? So that was the big paradigm shift for me. That are people that are fit, and also people that simultaneously build successful businesses. So if you don't have that belief, it's probably because you have not surrounded yourself with people that are currently doing that. That's why you think it is impossible. The same way as some people think, oh, when I have a family, I can't build a business. Oh, it's like, if I have kids, that's it, game over. Life is over. Many people were telling me, oh, when you have kids, you cannot travel. You're basically locked in. Like, there is nothing else you can do. You just sit at home with kids, and that's it. Your life is basically over. That's what people were telling me. And people were telling me that from their perspective, because their own lives were miserable, because they didn't find a way to leverage their time better and make more money and get some help and delegate, something we'll talk about in a second, where they would find the time. Again, this mindset shift, find the time. Find the time to be with your kids. Find the time to be with your family. Find the time to travel. Find the time to build a business. Find the time. Find the time. Find the time. You have to just like accept this mindset that you have to find the time. And that applies both to people that are just starting out their journey, to also people that are successful. Many business owners are so burnt out because they are just like not leveraging their time properly. And so for me, when I made this mindset shift, like I don't have time to go to the gym. Okay, I'll find the time to go to the gym. Like it's on my calendar. It's by default. It's there. Like this time, this day, I'm in a gym. I got myself a personal trainer, which is another thing we'll talk about. Getting some extra accountability. So I got myself a trainer, and so with a trainer, I have accountability. And then, oh shit! I actually have the time to go to the gym, and so I got in better shape. I feel better about myself, and like many things in my life just started like transforming once I made that decision. But the key paradigm shift was I don't have the time, to finding the time, and also looking at other like role models and people who actually were doing both. Like we're both fit, building businesses, having successful family. And so when I made that mindset shift, it was just life-changing for me. And so when you have this, like I'll build this up. Right? So this is the circle, right? So this is your like 24 hours in a day, 24 hours. So 1, 2, 3 p.m., whatever. And so you have all of these basically 24 hours. So obviously you have to sleep. That's okay. That's okay to get some sleep. As an entrepreneur, it's okay to get some sleep, right? So let's say between 10 p.m. and let's say 6 a.m. you're sleeping, right? So that part is, let's say that part is gone. Let's say you have a job, right? Maybe you have a job that goes between 9, like let's say that's 9, and like, this is messed up. 9, this is this is definitely messed up here. Let's say 9 and 5, right? So let's say this is 5 p.m. I know this graph is broken. So 9 and 5 p.m. you have a job. Say you have a job. Or you have some, maybe you go to college or university, whatever that is. So you have some other like responsibilities. Now, what happens between 5 and 10? 5 and 10 is 5 hours a day. 5 hours a day. Most people is like, oh, I had such a hard day. Let me get a beer. Let me watch some Netflix, and let me just relax and enjoy because I had a hard day. Well, if you have that mindset, you'll never be successful. If you think this is hard, if you think that was hard, and you kind of like rewarding yourself, oh, I had such a great day, now I can have a beer, now I can relax, you'll never be successful. It's very, very hard, because then you just like, this time you just wasted like watching social media, watching TV, like going out with friends that are not even aligned, don't even have like big goals for their life. And so now you just wasted all of the time, and that time adds up. So let's say just one day. Multiply that by 365 days in a year, right? So if we do the math here, 5 hours a day. Let's say, okay, extra hours, you do some extra stuff. Let's say it's 3 hours in a day. 3 hours multiplied by 365. It's 1,095 hours. 1,095 hours. 1,000 hours. Imagine if you spent 1,000 hours learning something about business. If you want to get into, let's say, e-commerce, right? So let's say e-commerce. If you learn 1,000 hours about e-commerce, no matter like even if you're a slow learner, you'll be pretty good at it. You'll understand many different aspects of it, especially if you got some guidance along the way. You would be pretty good at it. And or let's say you go to the gym, you get into better shape, right? Which will impact all of your areas of life. Maybe you spend some of the time quality time with your kids. I mean, I was reading the research. If you're spending like 20 minutes a day of quality time with your kids, if you have kids already, then it's a good starting point to build great bonding, great relationship with them. So then when they grow up, they're not just like, hey, I don't want to know this guy, like who's my dad or who's my mom. I don't want to know these guys, but you'll have actually amazing relationship with them. So 20 minutes a day. So now all of these things you can make happen if you make a decision. The key here is to make a decision, and decision is that you have the ability and you have the power to find the time, and you are deciding. Oftentimes, in a social environment, let's say that's you, and let's say you have few friends. Let's say you have few friends, and these friends are bums. Like these friends are like, they don't have like, that's you, right? These are your friends. Let's say you have 4 friends, and all of them kind of like, just like don't have big goals in life. They're just like going to the bar, or they just like, kind of like living life without any purpose. And so imagine you surround yourself by these people, and then you think, okay, well, we've been having like beer like every day for the last like 3 years. So, and now like I can't just tell them I cannot do it. I can't just tell them I cannot make it, like because I have other goals in life. And even if you share your goals in life with them, it's like, hey, I want to build a business. I want to change my life. I want to live like on a different level. I want to have more freedom. You'll tell this to these people, you'll have a lot of skepticism. 99% of cases, they will not support you. They're just like, what are you thinking about? You want to start a business? Like, you're not entrepreneur. You're not business owner. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you are not good at it. So just drop it. Like, just get back to your job. It's like in 40 years, hopefully you will retire, and hopefully you'll have a few years of freedom when you're like 65, 70 years old, if the government will still have money to pay you the pension. So now the social pressure aspect here is what usually gets people stuck. Social pressure. So think about in your life right now, do you have the social pressure? Do you have the pressure from people around you, right? That are like, just maybe you had this like pattern over the period of time where you spent a lot of time with them, and now it's very uncomfortable for you to break that pattern. But the thing is, like, if you don't break this pattern, if you don't break it, if you don't destroy this pattern that was established, your life will look exactly the same or even worse in 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Because if you're not growing, you are dying. And that applies not just to businesses, but that also applies even if you're working like a normal 9-to-5 job. Like, think about it, like all of the AI advancements that are happening right now, like literally right now on our team, we're looking for efficiencies to create within our company, to implement technology to make our team more efficient. And as a result of that, some people will have to go, because some of the jobs that they're doing right now can be replaced by AI. So let's say you're working 9-to-5 job. If you're not learning AI, if you're not learning something in those few hours that you have a day, in those few hours every single day, if you're not learning AI, if you're not learning new technologies, if you're not learning how you can be more valuable to your company, or learning some skills that you can start your business with, then your 9-to-5 will be gone. It's coming. It is coming. There is already so many different tasks that are getting replaced by AI, getting replaced by technology. We were in Arizona, in the United States, like one of the states. In some of the states, they already have the fully autonomous vehicles, right? Uber. So imagine you calling an Uber, and like let me know in the comments if you've ever had this experience where you're calling an Uber. I think it has like a different name. I forgot the name. You're basically calling an Uber, and Uber comes without driver, no driver. Imagine that, right? If you haven't seen it, like, you should see it. If you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So no driver. So imagine the car that has no driver. What that means, that driver that was supposed to drive that car, that was making his, whatever, 15, 20, depending on, how much they make per hour, I don't know, 15, 20, let's say $30 per hour on average, that job is gone. And so it's not even a question, like, if you like, oh, I don't have time to learn new skills. I don't have time to learn AI. I don't have time to start a business. It's more of a question, I have to fucking do it. I have to. I must, because if you don't, this will happen. Drivers, here where I live in Miami, they have robots that deliver food. What that means? It means that the food doesn't have to be delivered by humans. What that means? That those jobs of those humans that were delivering food will be gone. And maybe it's not like, oh, it won't happen tomorrow. For sure it won't happen tomorrow, but let's say it happens in 5 years. That job, boom, gone. Like the other jobs that are like very robotic, very simple, will be gone. And so now with all of this, it is your responsibility, it's your obligation to find the time, and I'll show you in a second how to do it, how to find the time to do the things that move your life forward. Again, it applies to you if you're still working 9 to 5, it applies to you if you already have a business, because even business owners are wasting so much time on meaningless tasks. It applies to you if you're just starting a business. If it applies to you like pretty much in any situation. It applies to me as well. Like it's not like I'm immune to this, and that's why I'm constantly reevaluating my time, where I'm wasting the most of my time, and what things could be delegated or improved or removed from my plate so that I can be more efficient with every minute of the day that I get. And so one of the ways to think about this is like this, right? Or let me do it. Okay. So you have, let's say here, high value tasks, high value, right? So the higher it is on this scale, it is higher. And then high value and impact, right? So for example, impact and high value, right? So this is the low value. So for example, if you currently working 9 to 5, and let's say you are commuting, even if you run a business, okay, even if you run a business, you're working 9 to 5, it doesn't matter. Let's say every day you got yourself like a house, or you live far from the place where you work, from your office. Let's say every day you're spending 1 hour commuting, 1 hour commuting to your office. So on this scale here, where do you think commuting is? Is it low value? Is it high value? Where it should be? Where it should be? Can I open the chat? Where on this chat it should be, the commuting. Now, commuting is obviously very low value. So here, commuting is low value. And so what is the value of commuting? There's no value. I mean, you're just getting to the place where you work. So the question is, why do you even drive? Like, for example, think about it. Like, what if you had a job where you can work remotely? Like, for example, even in our company, most of our team members are remote. They don't come to the office every day. What that means is, let's say 1 hour that they would have spent commuting in and out to the office, they could now save that 1 hour and do something more productive. So now, if you work in 9 to 5 and you have to be in the office every day, what if you could change your job? What if you could change a job where you can work remotely? So now, boom, 1 hour a day. Okay, 1 hour a day, That's what? 365 hours a year. Just like that. You just saved yourself 365 hours. If you commit those 365 hours to learning some valuable skills, now your life will be moving in the right direction a lot faster. And this is just one thing. Another thing is, let's say for business owners, let's do this for exercise for business owners. Some business owners like living like 1 hour away, like let's say 30 minutes away from the office. So it's 30 minutes to the office, 30 minutes from the office. So it's like 1 hour every day. They're stuck in traffic. That shit makes no sense. Like I don't know why people are still doing it, but that's how a lot of business owners operate. They get a house or they get a place far from their work. Just move closer. Like business owners, like if you're making money, just move closer. My office is about 15 minutes walk from my place where I live, from my apartment. So 15 minutes walk. On the car, it's probably like 10 minutes. I just move closer. So now instead of like 60 minutes, I only spent 20 minutes. So now, boom, 40 minutes a day. Just like that. Not even that, most of the days I work from home. Now I'm in the office, but most of the days I work from home. So if I work from home, then I don't need to be commuting. So even that 20 minutes, boom, I can do something more productive. Like even if that 20 minutes I spend that extra 20 minutes with my kids, for me that's better than just sitting in a car in the traffic, just like polluting the earth. Like I would rather spend time with my kids. And so for you, it could be something different that you find more enjoyment in. But now as you start auditing, this is the number one step. You have to start auditing your day, auditing your time. And I would do it in 15-minute increments. So literally what you have to do is audit your time in 15-minute increments, and then basically you create like a spreadsheet. I can even share the spreadsheet with you. Let me know in the comments if you want the spreadsheet. I'll drop it below this video. Or you can DM me on Instagram and I'll send it to you. It's 15 minutes and then increments, right? So every 15 minutes you would just basically log in what you were working on. Okay, let's say you're commuting. Okay, for 30 minutes, first like 2 spots of like 15 minute spots will be taken by commuting. What is the value of commuting? You just put the value of that task. And so the way you can do it is just put a dollar value. What is the value of that? It's probably like $10 per hour. It's pretty useless. It's pretty useless because you're just moving from one place to another, and you don't necessarily have to be there unless you work like on a factory or something like that where you have to actually be there. I worked in the factory. I actually had to be in the factory every day. So some of the jobs have less flexibility in that sense. But then, why you even work in that job? Ask yourself the question. It's like, okay, can I get a better job? Can I learn some skills with the free time that I get and get a better job? Again, those like few hours a day that you have. Maybe you don't have 5 hours, but you for sure, like 99.9% of people have at least 2-3 hours a day. If they start auditing their time, they would find those like 2-3 hours a day that they could allocate to building something more, some meaningful, and move their life forward. And so here, let's say you cook. Do you need to cook? Like, I know some people are spending like 1 hour a day cooking for themselves. Like, it's a waste of time. Just hire someone. If you're making good money and you're still cooking your own food, you are wasting your life. Like, hire a cook. Hire a chef. Get meals delivered to your place. Now, that by itself, okay, again, let's say it's 30 minutes a day. You just cook your food. Unless you're enjoying it, but you're not Gordon Ramsay. Like, you're not making money from it. So why do you waste time? That 30 minutes, again, if you allocate that to learning new skills so you can put yourself in a better position, Like that falls into that bucket of time that you can allocate. So again, 30 minutes, multiply 30 minutes by 365 hours in a year. So now let's say you found a job so you can work from home, you're ordering your meals. So now it's 365 hours a year, plus you have about 180 hours in a year that you save on cooking. So now all of this starts to add up. And so now if you evaluate, okay, when I'm coming to work, first thing that I do is I'm responding to emails. Or even if you run a business, like I respond to emails. What is the value of answering to emails? Very, very low. Unless this is like super important conversation with your vendors. But most of us have thousands and thousands of emails. I used to have like about 5,000 unread emails in my inbox. And it would bug me because every time I would log in, I'm like, oh, I have to go through all of those emails. And then what I realized is that if all of those emails are not like answered and nothing bad happens, then I just mark all of those emails as read, and I get myself an assistant. An assistant you can hire for like $500 per month, like $1,000 a month. If you hire them remotely, give them access to your email, so they will filter all of the emails. They will respond to the most like kind of repetitive emails, or just will unsubscribe you. So now you're only left with like 3-5 emails a day. They send you the summary every day. So every day you would just review the most important emails. You would just send them the voice note of what to respond to those emails. And that's pretty much it. And so now most people, I have to read the stat, but most people would spend like 1-2 hours a day. Let me actually Google this. How much time people spending answering emails per day? Because this is fascinating. Like how much time people spend answering emails. Let me see. All right. So, yeah. So on average, people spend about 28% of their workday reading and answering emails, which equates to approximately 2.6 hours per day. Emails, waste of time. So 2.6 hours, again, let's do the math. And I know my math might not be like extremely like accurate. 2.6 multiplied by 365, because let's say you take some days off during the year. So let's say it's almost 1,000 hours, right? So now here, boom, 1,000 hours. So just these three. This is commuting, like driving to work. This is cooking. This is email. You have what, about 1,500 hours a year. 1,500 hours a year that you could spend to build a business, to grow the business, to do something that can move your life forward, or maybe to learn some skills, right? That will get you paid more, and that will give you advantage in the future, not to get fired from the company that you're working in, because you simply will be too valuable. So 1,500 hours, and I just went through like three basic things, right? So just right there, it's 1,500 hours. Now, even though these are super big, but there is one big, massive one that you should be like just constantly looking at, and that is the social media. Social media. Average person. Let me see the stats. How much time people spend on social media on average? 2 hours. Globally, people spend an average of 2 hours and 21 minutes. I didn't make this shit up. This is for real. 2 hours and 21 minutes. In the United States, the average time spent on social media is 2 hours and 9 minutes. Let's just round it up. 2 hours. Again, 2 hours. 2 hours. And this pisses me off so much, because when I have conversations with entrepreneurs, I'm like, and I had a conversation with an entrepreneur recently. It's like, oh, I want to get into e-commerce. I like what you have done with your business, and I want to start e-commerce. I'm like, cool. And I'm like, okay, so how much time did you think about starting your e-commerce business? And he's like, yeah, it's about last year. Last year I was thinking about it. And why didn't I start it? Oh, I don't have enough time. And then I went through this little exercise with him, and he's like, oh shit, I actually have a time. I actually have time, because 2 hours, 2 hours here, 1 hour there. And so combined, so now just here you have about 730. 730 plus 1,500 here. We're already looking at 2,200 hours. Who here knows the rule of mastery, the 10,000 hour rule? 10,000 hour rule. Just let me know in the comments. I know I can't read the comments, but anyways, if you know this rule, there is a rule of 10,000 hours. What that means is, if you dedicate 10,000 hours to learning any subject, you achieve the point of mastery. Not just learning theory, but actually practicing that. So let's say if on average, based on these, we have, and people that have mastery in any field, these are the most paid people. These are the best athletes. These are the best actors. These are the best entrepreneurs that have a lot of experience in business, both theory experience and practical experience. And these people get compensated the most for what they do. These people make millions and sometimes billions of dollars. So, and these people have achieved that point of mastery. Usually they spend a lot more than 10,000 hours, but 10,000 hours is a good starting point. So let's say you spend that 2,200 hours a year learning about e-commerce. You would literally, if you actually did that, you would put yourself in top 1% of all e-commerce entrepreneurs, because most people, they're just lazy, and most people wouldn't dedicate this much time to learning any subject. You would literally, in 1 year, you could become the top 1% of all e-commerce entrepreneurs. Now, how much money that would make you, that depends on what you're focusing on, whether you are just learning or actually applying and learning from your mistakes. But I mean, potential of this can be life-changing. If you actually did that, you would be in top 1% of all e-commerce entrepreneurs. So imagine you can do all of that in 1 year. Literally your whole life can change in 1 year if you cut this bullshit here. If you cut wasting your time on answering emails and cooking and commuting and social media, literally your whole life can turn around in 1 year. And if you spend 4 years in this tempo, you would be, even with this same, this basically without changing much in your life currently, you would be easily at 10,000 hours on that specific subject. So you would be really, really, really good. You would be at the mastery stage. Mastery, you would be very good. You would be able to build businesses, grow businesses, you'll have all of the skills that's necessary. And so this here would take approximately 4 years based on these numbers. But even in 1 year, your life can completely turn around. So if you're not happy right now with where you are, maybe your business doesn't look as good as you want, maybe your life doesn't look as good as you want. Maybe you're working 9 to 5 that you don't like and don't enjoy and just driving you nuts. This is your path. This is literally your plan to get out of it. Because to achieve anything in life, you need a plan. And ideally, you need some guidance along the way too, to achieve results faster. And so let's say if you follow this plan, you allocate more time to something that helps you move your life forward, either it's building a business, getting more skills so you can get paid more in your job, learning the skills to grow the business, which is another skill set for those of you who already have a business. And so now if you have a plan, you have some guidance along the way from people who've done it, from people who have done it. Like that is one very, very important element, because throughout this path here, you can just like learn books and like read books and trying to learn everything by yourself. But if you have guidance from someone who have done it before, who has done it. I think my grammar sucks. Has done it, have done it. I don't know. I don't care. Like for me, learning grammar is a low value skill set. I guess I put it on lower scale. So if you have plan and you have guidance, and then you take consistent action, because you can learn from the books, but then you have to apply what's in the books and get results. And sometimes it doesn't work out what you tested from the books. So you have to adjust and pivot and correct your course. If you have these three elements, this is literally the plan to get anything you want in life. Whether it's building successful business, scaling successful business, getting paid a lot more for your job, because you simply have the skill sets that not a lot of people are willing to dedicate time to master. And so if you have all of these elements here in place, you can achieve anything you want. Anything. So this is the plan. Now, if you have here, let's say, where is that? So, okay, so let's say, as one more thing that I wanted to share with you, like as you're going through the audit of your time, right, to find these areas of improvement, as you do the auditing, there is very simple framework that I'm using. It's called delegate, automate, or delete, remove. So for example, you're going through this audit and you realize you're spending like 2 hours a day on social media. Like you can't delegate it, you can't automate it, right? It has very low value on this scale here. It's very low value. There's no value from watching like social media and getting like entertained. What do you have to do here? You have to delete, right? Social media you have to delete, or at least minimize it. As a bare minimum, just minimize it. Like if you're watching 2 hours a day, what if you cut that time to 30 minutes a day? So you still have it. You still don't feel yourself like isolated from the world. You still have some element of that entertainment, but you minimize it. So now you're cutting yourself 1.5 hours a day. If you have, let's say, cooking, like we reviewed cooking and as an example, right? You don't want to cook. Maybe you enjoy cooking, but even then it's a waste of time. What do you need to do? You need to delegate cooking, right? There are people that are better at cooking than you and I. Like they're just people that specializing. If you're doing this like 1 hour a day, there are people that are doing it 10 hours a day for years. There are people that better at cooking. So why not delegate that? So again, it's like, let's say 30 minutes a day here, you just saved yourself. Automate. For example, in my house, like we order in like groceries, and we had, before, we would spend like a few hours a week probably ordering groceries. Now we just automated it. Like we just have automated delivery of groceries. And so they're just getting delivered. And then the cook comes in and cooks the food. And so now I don't have to think about it. I just have to go to the fridge and get my food. And so now, like all of that part, like that previously was taking like 5 hours a week at least, that whole area is gone. Like so 5 hours a week, Again, you just have to think bigger. And to think bigger, just multiply it by number of weeks. 5 multiplied by 52 weeks in a year, that's like 250 hours, probably more than that. My math sucks, but let's say 250 hours. 250 hours. Let's say now, like those 250 hours, I can spend learning about leadership. I can spend learning about AI and how we can incorporate that in our business. I can spend that time developing relationships with people and building relationships with our team, with our service providers. So now I can spend that time with things that have a lot more higher value on this scale here. Because let's say learning like a leadership skills for every business owner, if you already have a business, leadership, it's a high value task. It's a high value because now you can lead other people. They will spend their time doing the tasks. You don't have to do the task. You just guide them and you lead them. It's a very, very high level skill. Think about Elon Musk. Does he build the rockets by himself? No, he leads people. He leads people. Did Jeff Bezos like build Amazon, like delivered every package to everyone who's buying from Amazon? No, he leads people. He leads people. And so this is when you're in the stage when you're already building a business, leadership is the highest lever to scale your business. Like even for people that are still like in their ad accounts, managing their ads, what if you could find someone who's better than you at managing ads, better than you in like optimizing your website, better than you in making creatives for your ads, and you lead them, and you incentivize them, and you make sure that they perform at the highest level. You help them to grow, you help them to evolve. That is the leadership. That is extremely high value skill and extremely high impact skill that you can deliver, that you can focus on, right? It's probably not as important when you're starting the business because you have no one to lead besides yourself. I mean, that is a separate skill set in its own, but that's why I'm sharing all of this, because this is how you lead yourself. You audit your time, you identify these areas of opportunities, and you make a decision. You make a decision to change that decision. You make a decision to change your perspective from I don't have time to I will find the time to do it because I know this is truly important for me, for my family, for my future. I will find the time to do it and I'll cut other things. Other things will become a sacrifice, like social media or commuting. I'll have to sacrifice something to get there, but I will do it because I know how important that is. So now, any of these stages, if you need help, if you need accountability, if you need someone who would give you the guidance from someone who's actually done it, if you want to build a business, for instance, we have a program called Brand Builders Academy where we will guide you through all of the steps on building a business. We'll help you to level up massively as a professional, as entrepreneur. So if you need any help with that to accelerate the progress, then there should be a link below this video. You can apply for a free call where we'll look into your situation. We'll see exactly how we can help you. We will guide you if that works out. We'll guide you. We'll give you all of the resources. We'll give you all of the help. From your side, you'll have to bring in the action. Bring the action, right? So as we guiding you and we are coaching you and we are mentoring you, you have to put in the work in order to make it happen. Because a lot of people have this element, they have a plan, okay, this is what I have to do, and then they spend time learning, and then they might even get some guidance, but they're lacking the action, actually putting this in place and actually executing, and this is the highest value one. So you'd have to actually execute, no matter like if you have all of the steps outlined, you know exactly what you need to do, now you need to actually do it. So to summarize this, to make it easy for you, you have the ability and you have the power to change your life. Whatever you are, wherever you are in life, you can get your life to where you want it to be. Like if you have that like mental picture in your brain, like, hey, I want my life to look like this, and I want my body to look like this, and I want my business to look like this, and I want my relationships to look like this, and I want my family to look like this, and I want like to have experiences in life like this. All of that is possible once you take full ownership over your time. Once you take full ownership over your time, you get some guidance along the way as well, because sometimes it's hard to reflect. Sometimes it's like, oh, I don't even know what I'm doing wrong. I don't even know. Like, yeah, I'm kind of like grinding and I'm working 24/7, but it seems like, I'm just like rat race. You kind of like just like trying, and nothing works. For that reason, you need external perspective. You need some guidance to help you navigate all of these stages. And so if you have that and then you're putting in the action, then you can achieve anything you want in life. So if you watch until this stage, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I do these calls like once a week to help you with different areas of your life and business. Would love to also, if you have any suggestions for the next calls, drop them in the comments. Would love to help you with specific topics that you have challenges with. Share my experience, working with thousands of entrepreneurs at this stage, seeing what mistakes they do, what things they do right, what differentiates successful people from people who never make it, and would love to help you in any way I can. There should be also, if you need help from me and my team to build a successful e-commerce business, there should be a link below as well if you're interested in guidance on that aspect. And I appreciate you so much for joining me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next, probably next week. See you guys.